Welcome. We are so glad you've joined us for this session of the Read by Fourth Parent Workshop on Early Reading Skills. Please be sure you have the Family Take-Home Workbook and the Early Reading Skills Guide Sheet on hand as you watch this session on sight recognition. In the previous sessions, we had fun exploring phonics activities to help your children in kindergarten through grade 3 learn to crack the code. But there is one last skill children must master, and it applies to every grade level. On your guide sheet, you will see at the end of the phonics section for each grade, it says, read grade level high frequency sight words that may not follow rules. Lots of words follow the rules, or should we say follow phonics patterns, but some don't. For example, under kindergarten phonics skill number 6, the word I follows a long vowel sound open syllable pattern, but the words the and was are not regular and not easily decoded by following common phonics patterns. All of these words are considered high-frequency words for kindergarten, meaning they will show up in lots of the books our children are reading in the classroom. Now look at first grade phonics skill number 6. The words what, could, and said are all common, irregularly patterned words that your child must know automatically so that reading grade level material will be easier and a lot more fun. Now you will hear everything you need to know about sight words in this animated video, and we will discuss more afterward.
There are so many words your child learns to read. In the videos, we just heard about matching sounds and letters and reading words. And the more your child sees a word and practices it and reads it in a book, pretty soon he or she just knows it fast. It is automatic. It becomes a sight word. Your child just knows it right off. No need to carefully make the sound of the letters and blend them together. Your child just recognizes the words. So how do children practice words, and exactly what words do they practice? Well, first, you and your child can read lots of books at their level and learn lots of words. But also, you can practice the words that are most common in your child's books. And someone made a list of the most common words. A list of 100 most common words in kindergarten and first grade, and another list of the 100 most common words for first and second grade books, and a list of the 100 most common words your child should know by the end of third grade. Most words follow the rules we have been talking about here, but some of these common words, well, some just don't. Words like what, or was, or said, or enough. So if you want to help your child become a strong reader, again, most important, read books with your child. But also practice these most frequent words so your child will be a confident, happy reader.
The goal is for all words to eventually become sight words. We want our kids to practice decoding using their phonics skills and eventually become so familiar with words that they can recognize them instantly with little conscious effort. Before we demonstrate some activities for building sight words, let's look more closely at some of these common high-frequency words. As you heard in the animated video, many or most of these words can't be decoded or sounded out based on common phonics patterns, but they are used frequently in grade-level reading material. That is why they are included on a high-frequency sight word list. For example, the words shown here are from a first grade sight word list, and only a portion of these words can be sounded out by a first grader. You can really help your child learn these words by helping them discover the letters in these words that are representing the sounds they would expect, even if other letters aren't connecting to their expected sounds. Let's look closely at the word over. We know that O can represent a long sound like its name, O. We also know that V represents the V sound. That leaves the ER. Now, your first grader may or may not have been taught the connection between the ER pattern and the sound. If they have been taught, then this word can be sounded out with ease. If they haven't yet learned this pattern, then you may need to highlight and practice this part of the word and explain that it will need to be remembered for now. Here's another example, the word put. The letter P represents the sound we expect, P. Now what about the last letter? The last letter T also represents an expected sound. But what about the middle letter U? We would expect U to represent the short sound or its long sounds. But this word is put. So your child will see that the first and last letter sound connections are expected, but the U is making an unexpected sound, and this can be discussed to help their memory for this word. And finally, here's another example, the word great. We expect the GR blend, gr, and the long A sound may be unexpectedly represented by the EA combination. But the T again is expected, t. So we know gr and t. And we point out to our children that they have to remember that the unexpected long A in the middle is spelled EA. Great! Now let's review some activities you can try at home with your child to support their automatic recognition of sight words. In the Family Take-Home Workbook, you will find sight word card decks and sight word lists to use with your child. Here you see a list of the 100 most common sight words for first and second grades. In the workbook, you will also get the list for the 100 most common sight words for kindergarten and first grade, and the 100 most common sight words for third grade. You will also get access to 300 sight word cards that you can cut out and use when playing games with your child. Now, when practicing sight words, you can ask your child to sound out the word while tapping the table for each letter sound connection. G, R, A, T. Great. G-R-E-A-T spells great. Moving and tapping their fingers as they look at the spelling and say the letter sound connections helps them to remember the spelling. You can also use the sight word cards as flashcards. Grab a timer and see how quickly your child can read 10 or 20 of the words. You can practice with the word cards, or you can practice with the word lists. Kids often like to be timed and show their progress. How many words can they read in 30 seconds? Then practice a bit and see how many they can read. Remember, these are the words that are most often in your child's books. They are words they need to know so that they are confident readers. In your Family Take-Home Workbook, you will find ideas for lots more activities. This brings us to the end. Thanks for watching this session of the Read by Fourth Parent Workshop on Early Reading Skills. We just explored grade level sight words.